This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
But he does come back to the WWF in the fall of '94. And I think it happens on August 20th at Connor's Ice Rink in Stamford. Boy, this is not the WWF he left, is it? We're running shows in an ice rink.
I was at that show with Chris, and we started talking about just different vignettes and some different things that we could do. And it was the first time I had seen Chris, obviously, since he had left. So it was a nice reminiscing, and he came in really good spirits. As a matter of fact, I think that he had, prior to this, had hit the stand-up comedy circuit a little bit, not going around the country, but he had done a few stand-up comedy routines. And I remember laughing my ass off, and I gave him a ride that night back to the hotel. And it was, yeah, you don't really realize how big someone is until they're sitting in your eagle talon, 400 pounds. And it's like, holy shit, dude. Big man, big man.
I love you had an eagle talon.
I love my little eagle talon.
I don't know why, but that tickles me that was the Bruce Prichard mobile. Let's talk about when he comes back, because you did mention some vignettes. October 1st, those vignettes start airing. They're promoting the return of King Kong Bundy to the World Wrestling Federation. We're going to see him portrayed as a King Kong-like giant walking through the streets of New York, climbing the Empire State Building, swatting airplanes. There's another vignette, which is pretty creative. It's an event center style segment with the announcer talking about his return, but you hear huge footsteps, and then Bundy picks up the set with his hand, zooming out to him holding a miniature and roaring. I assume these are all your skits. This is up your alley.
Yeah. I mean, I laid them out. I don't even remember if I shot them. I believe I did. I shot them all on the blue screen in there. So it was, yeah, they were fun. He was King Kong. So make him King Kong, make him larger than life, and make him the giant that people want to perceive him and portray him as.
Bundy returns as a member of Ted DiBiase's stable, the $1 Million Corporation, on October 8th. From there, he's going to pick up wins and mostly squash style matches until mid-November. One of those squashes is against a very young Jeff Hardy on an episode of Action Zone. And then he's going to start working a series of matches against WWE champion Bret Hart that November, of course, in a losing effort. But he once again has a successful pay-per-view match at Survivor Series. He and fellow $1 Million team stablemate, Bam Bam Bigelow, survive a match against Lex Luger's Guts and Glory team. So here's a little fun piece of trivia. Bundy defeated both the real American Hulk Hogan and American-made Lex Luger at different Survivor Series events. You have to feel, and he has to feel pretty good about his position here. You're coming in, working with the champ, being positioned on pay-per-views against top baby faces. He's got to like this spot he's in, right?
You're still stealing money, Bundy. Every time you get into the ring and you take a promoter's paycheck, you're stealing money. I'm sure he did. I'm sure. But you know, it was weird because you had Bundy and Bigelow at the same time, two big guys, part of DiBiase's group. Throw into that the Godfather, who was Kama Mustafa at the time, and it was some big, thick brutes. It was a little hard to stand out in that group.
Yeah. Let's talk about how he comes back though. Is Vince, you know, this is the era, 1994, where business is down. No doubt about it. I mean, we're running shows in fucking skating rinks. Are we looking for our next big hit? That's the phrase we heard from Lisa Wolf that you've attributed here on Something to Wrestle. Does he just go back to what he knows? Why not give Bundy a try? Or does Bundy call and say, hey man, why don't we get the band back together? I'd work some shots. Who reaches out to who? How does that come to life where he's back here?
I believe Bundy had reached out to us and was, you know, looking to see if there was something available. And it was during a time that, yeah, it was. We were looking for some big guys, names that the audiences could identify with. And Bundy had been a huge star in the past, so why not give it a shot?
It just feels like he's positioned pretty nicely here, working with Brett, working with Lex. And then on November 28th in Poughkeepsie, it's a Monday Night Raw taping, and Diesel beats Bundy in 15 seconds with a boot to the face. Is this more about, we want to cement that Diesel is the top guy, that he is our hero, our giant babyface hero? Cause a 15-second loss on TV, that's not normally what you do with your top heel who's been working with your champ around the loop.
Well, I don't know that Bundy was really being positioned as the top heel either there. And this was an opportunity to really get Diesel over as well. And that's exactly what it was positioned as. This was something to get Diesel over.
Also in the latter half of 86, Bundy and Studd received shots at the WWF tag titles against the Bulldogs. Of course, they're unsuccessful, usually losing by disqualification. But Big John Studd winds up leaving the company not too terribly long after this. And Bundy goes back into singles competition. I'm sort of fascinated by the potential, the long-term potential of a King Kong Bundy, Big John Studd tag team. Do you think they could have become a strong tag combination? I mean, they were both top cards individually. Them forming a tag team with a manager, I don't know, it feels like it could have worked.
Absolutely, it could have worked because they were just so damn big, and it conjures up images of how in the hell do you beat them. So I think if they had stayed together, without a doubt, they would have been tag team champions, and probably for a while.
His next big match, though, is against Shawn Michaels in a King of the Ring qualifying match on May 22nd. It's Monday Night Raw. Shawn pins Bundy with a super kick about 8 minutes in, and he's doing a lot of jobs in June for Adam Bomb on the house show loop. He appears on the July 23rd show as a lumberjack for In Your House. On Superstars on September 2nd, he's going to hold Henry Godwin while DiBiase prepares to slop him. Of course, instead, Godwin moves and Bundy is slopped. At this point, it feels like we're sort of out of ideas for King Kong Bundy. Has it just run its course? We tried it, and the WrestleMania match just cemented that, man, there's no meat left on the bone here.
Well, we tried it in 1994 when Chris's best years were, 85 to 87. Chris was not in the shape. One of the reasons that Chris got over was because he was a big man that could move and a big man that could work and was very agile. We didn't get that agile big man that could move in 1994. And I think that Chris had slowed down quite a bit. Chris had been afflicted with Bell's palsy, which also I think really affected Chris's psyche as well. And that was something that, he wanted to work through and continue to work. But I think that that took a toll on him as well. But it wasn't the same King Kong Bundy from 10 years earlier.
It's just, that's coming to an end here. His last TV match is a 20-man battle royal on the October 23rd Monday Night Raw. His last TV appearance is on Superstars. It's a taping that happens on October 24th, but is not going to air until November 4th. He's in the corner of Psycho Sid here. His last match with the promotion is October 29th at a live show, teaming with Kama in a losing effort against the Smoking Guns. Can you tell us about the decision for you guys to part ways? Is it his idea, your idea, combination of both?
Combination of both. It wasn't working, and Chris was unhappy, and I don't think that we really had any more for him. We had a lot of big guys, and we had a lot of big guys that were younger and that could move and that wanted to work. Chris, I think, wanted to come in and be King Kong Bundy, the top guy all over again. And that was 10 years removed where he needed to earn that spot again if he were going to achieve it. So it was a combination of this isn't working out and Chris not being real happy, not wanting to stay.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.